Indonesian Grand Prix, one of the most exotic locations in the entire season. In a few moments we'll move to the main straight to watch the start of the Moto 2 race. After a long weekend, the race is finally about to start. We're on the starting grid where the engineers are completing their checks before the off. The weather is clear and temperatures are perfect for racing, but this track's fierce acceleration can cause the rear tyre to wear quickly. It's not by chance that lots of riders have fitted a medium tyre at the front and a hard tyre at the back. With the sighting lap safely negotiated, the lights will go out in a few seconds and the Indonesian Grand Prix will get underway.
That is your pole setter. We are underway here in Mandalika. Salac looks like he's made a poor start, a really poor start from that front row of the grid. Chantra immediately through on his inside. In fact, Chantra also through on Gonzalez as well. And it's Pedro ACOSTA who fires himself immediately to the front of this Mandalika Grand Prix. There's chaos a bit further back, a couple of rides further back. Canet back on the inside of ACOSTA as we go through turn 2.
Yeah, Canet recognising straight away that he needs to get track position ahead of Pedro ACOSTA and make ACOSTA do the chasing. It was Lopez who was one of the riders down with Alberto Sura further back down the grid. So the pair of them are out of contention. Tony Arbolino is up 5 from 10th to 5th.
That was beautifully done through the high speed turn 12. Arbolino then 10th to 4th on this first lap. Sensational stuff by the Italian again.
Give him so much credit. On lap 1 of Moto 2 races, there is no one better than Tony Arbolino. Canet then from ACOSTA and Gonzalez, who are already trying to put some space between themselves and the chasing pack.
He's going to run the inside line, just squeeze on the inside of Canet. Can Canet get him back on the cutback as they power towards turn 2? No, he gets his nose chopped off. Lopez has rejoined this Grand Prix after his turn 1 collision involving Sura. ACOSTA just might want some clear air, as well as Canet's immediately trying to fight back on the inside into turn 10. That's aggressive, and he's got through as well. Don't think ACOSTA's going to be able to retaliate. He has a long look over his left shoulder, just trying to make sure, see where Gonzalez is directly behind him. So it's a Spanish top 3 as it stands right now. Canet back at the front. Been a good early battle this between Canet and ACOSTA. Back in the hands of the pole man. Fully in control of this year's World Championship, Pedro ACOSTA, but not fully fit coming into this Indonesian Grand Prix. And a real fast crash on the inside of Canet though, into the first corner. This time around he does make a 6. Salac, which gone from bad to worse for the Czech rider, who had a real poor start from that rare front row of the grid, and he's crashed out early on here then as well for the Grazini squad. He's trying to pick up that number 12 bike with the assistance of the marshals, but ACOSTA had that high-speed crash on Friday morning at turn 15. It's the last corner, isn't it?
By Agora.
Yeah. A little tap on his inside there. At the front then, ACOSTA, head down under the bubble, 134.960. He's the only rider, he's the only rider in the 134s now. Arbolino on the inside of Gonzalez. He's trying to go here with ACOSTA. Pedro ACOSTA, the only rider on that lap 3, was able to hold the pace in the 134s. He was half a second quicker of Canet in second. So he clearly, the tactic is here, get again now on the inside of Gonzalez. Not a lot of room there, but what room there was, he took it.
Yeah, Manuel Gonzalez finds himself in a rather familiar place right now. He's in P5 at this stage of the race, although Jake Dixon might be soon about to change that. Just goes to show that you've got to be decisive in these races. There was a brief opportunity there for Gonzalez to move through on Arbolino. As soon as that door was slammed in his face, he ended up losing 4th place to Aldeguer, who's shown good pace so far through this weekend, and he is certainly firmly a podium contender. Another fastest lap for Pedro ACOSTA, a 34.4.
who's not been shy at all, has he, into turn 10. His latest victim of some pure outright aggression on the brakes into 10. Well, some kept Chantra a few laps ago. This time around it's Arbolino. Arbolino now having to tough it out with Gonzalez. A battle he doesn't want to be in. Gonzalez going to have the inside line now through the high-speed sweep through 13. So Arbolino, that all was a result of Aldeguer getting the knees and elbows pretty sharp and getting at 10. Looks like it's going to be another mid 134 coming in. Arbolino on the inside of Gonzalez into 16. Not going to work though. He runs in wide. Gonzalez comes straight back through. Arbolino trying to offer some payback through the final corner, but no way through yet. It's another mid 134 from ACOSTA, so we suspected, and for the first time in this Grand Prix.
Hector's run up with Dixon is this time going to be the moment where he makes the move stick on Tony Arbolino. Arbolino will get the drive out of turn number 10, but Dixon is clear of any attack from the Italian, so that is now another point going out the window for Tony Arbolino. He would now, as it stands, be 65 adrift of Pedro ACOSTA with only 125 still to play for. Well, watching Pedro ACOSTA, who had a scare of his own.
Through the high-speed turn 8. Steady on Pedro. It's going to be a few more nails bitten and chewed down inside that replicating Maya garage.
3 laps remaining at the rate that Fermin Aldeguer had caught him over that period of around 3 or 4 laps. Canet will just be desperate just to hang on to this. As we go to the first sector of this current lap, it remains at 0.6 of a second, so Canet is doing just about enough at this stage, but Aldeguer can now see the gap up ahead of him. It's a visual gap rather than a time gap, and that will just add to the motivation and the encouragement for the Boscoscuro rider as he chases that first podium since his win at Silverstone.
Fermin Aldeguer's podium, his podium challenge for second looks like it's run its course. I'm not quite sure what happened to him on that previous lap, lap 20, because he did a 1:35.8, which was a second slower than ACOSTA.
It's taking us to Parc Fermé and to the runner-up, who's getting a well-deserved round of applause from his team members. This is a really good result that will give him some optimism for the upcoming races.